In this episode of Jay's Answers, I'm going to answer a question by Rustom David, or Rustom David, depending on how you pronounce that. And he wants to know, what do you recommend as a backup power that is cost effective? So as you know, most of my audience is in the Philippines, and sometimes there are power outages, sometimes there are typhoons that cause power outages, and sometimes the companies just have power outages for other reasons that I'm not particularly sure why they happen. But it does happen that there are power outages, and these power outages can last 12 hours long, sometimes even longer than that. So you do want to have backup power options. So what are the different options that you have? My first recommendation is to have a nearby location which you can go just in case there's a power outage. So a couple of weeks ago, there was a power outage in where I'm living, and it's critical that I have to work. So what I always make sure of is where I'm living, there are close coffee shops nearby, and these coffee shops do have their own generators. So that's something that I always make sure of. And they have also they have generators, they have outlets where I can charge my laptop, and third, of course, they need internet. They have to have internet. So I want to know my backup options. If I'm going to go to this cafe, there's a Starbucks nearby that has those things. I know where these coffee shops are, so I can go to them. Also, co-working spaces. I know where the co-working spaces are, so I can go there just in case there is a power outage. Another thing that you should notice, number two, aside from having coffee shops and co-working spaces, is you should have a backup internet connection that does not rely on power. So what do I mean by that? You should have an internet connection on your mobile phone, or one of those mobile hotspots that uses wireless signal. I always have one on my phone, so just in case there's a power outage and my laptop has power, I can still use my phone to connect to the internet, make it a hotspot, and still do some work. Or if I go to a coffee shop and the internet is not very strong, I can always tether my cell phone, use it as a hotspot, connect my laptop to it. Now, another option, and my last option, aside from having nearby places I can go, nearby coffee shops, cafes, or co-working spaces, or even malls that I can go to, are hotels, and they're my last option because hotels are a little bit expensive. So it's not my favorite option, but if a power outage is going to last overnight, then I might not be able to sleep properly. That's when a hotel would also come into place, because I can just use the AC and sleep well. But a hotel with internet, with strong internet preferably, is another option for you, just in case you run out of other options, or if the power outage is going to last throughout the night and then you're going to have trouble sleeping. And if you don't sleep properly, you can't work properly, which is going to affect a lot of other things as well. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Rustam. And how about you guys watching? Do you have any backup solutions just in case there's a power outage, or just in case your internet goes down at home? What options do you have? What are your plan Bs or plan Cs? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this useful, please hit the share button below this video so that you can also share this with your family and friends who may find this useful. I'll talk to you later.